it's your girl, SHOtheOT, your fave occupational therapist, here to help you and others live their best lives. Let's get started. Hey. So as you've read by that title, you know what today's topic is all about. It's all about my first fieldwork experience. I know that a lot of students, specifically OT students, when they enter into a grad program, they're always like, okay, what is fieldwork gonna be like? What can I expect? And so I'm here to give you just my experience with my first fieldwork experience, and I'm just gonna let you know how that went, what I expected, what happened that I didn't expect, and just all that good stuff. All right, let's get into it. So I am not going to tell you guys the specific place I did my fieldwork experience because I just feel like that would not be right at all. But I'm just gonna tell you my experience there, and we'll just go from there. So I was in a mental health facility with adults who had mental disabilities. And so before I went into it, I was super excited because it was a field or a setting that I never saw myself working in before. And so I was very like, this could be interesting. And by the way, it was only a week long. So I was like, cool. Like, if I hate it, it's not that long. And I was like, if I love it, well, then I'll love it. And that's great. And so it was, I expected it to be very informative, and it was. It was very, very informative. One tip or advice I can give to new OT students about to go on their first fieldwork experience: have an open mind. Be very open about what you are willing to get out of that experience. Don't have a set plan in your brain because it most likely will not go the way you think it will go. So I was there with about, I think it was 3 other people from my cohort. One of them being one of my really good close friends. So I was like, this is going to be great. Like, I'm going with cool people that I already know. Like, this is going to be fun. This is going to be great. Okay. And so I go, and the first day is kind of like, they're just telling us like what they do there. Me and the other girls from my cohort, we get split up into different groups or sections, and I'm like, I'm excited, I'm ready to get in there, do my thing or whatever. Another tip or advice I give to OT students specifically about their fieldwork experience: you might not be with an OT for your first fieldwork experience. I didn't know that. I thought that all my fieldwork experiences were gonna be with OTs, and I was gonna be learning right from the hands of an OT. And that wasn't the case. I was not with an OT. And that's okay. That turned out being fine. So the purpose of this first fieldwork experience, as far as I understand it from my program, was to just get me familiar with the setting and with the population, not necessarily to learn from an OT. And I understand that now. But before, I was kind of just like, I'm an OT student, shouldn't I be with an OT for my fieldwork experience? And that's not how it went down. And I don't regret that. I don't think that I missed out on anything because I wasn't with the OT. I don't think that at all. And so, first day we got split up, with different groups. And so my group the first day was super cool. We went out on outings and we did little arts and crafts with the residents that attended that facility, and it was pretty cool. The first day was pretty cool. As the week went on, I realized that the facility didn't have the funds or the resources that they truly needed to make the facility as great as it could be, because they didn't have the resources to pay the workers. And so the workers weren't getting paid what they probably felt they should get paid. And so it reflected in the way that they treated the residents that were there. And it was very sad to me because I grew really, really close. In that week, not even a full 7 days, that 5 days that I was at that facility, I truly grew really close with the residents that attended that facility, and they were so amazing, and they were so, like, they were great people. And I felt like the facility wasn't able to give them the things that they deserved. And so me and the other 3 students in my cohort, we would go to lunch every day, and we would kind of debrief about what we were experiencing during those 5 days. And so we kind of just came to the conclusion that we would start making the experience our own. So because we felt like we weren't getting what we wanted to get out of it, we were just like, you know what, we're gonna make this experience our own experience, and we are going to just have fun with it and do what we came here to do, basically. And so we kind of stopped taking the instructions from the employees that we were put with each day, because in my opinion, I felt like we were mostly just sitting around and watching others do whatever, and I felt like we weren't being productive at all, and I really wanted to get something out of my fieldwork experience. So I kind of just started facilitating conversations with the residents and just talking to them and seeing like how their day was going, and talking to them and seeing what they wanted to do. So I remember one day one of the residents had a pack of Uno cards, and so instead of doing the arts and craft that they really did not want to do, they truly didn't want to do it, we started playing Uno, and they had a ball. We had a great time. So we were all in there just playing Uno and just having a good time. There was one day where I think that week they were holding a fashion show, and so we got everybody all hype and turned and ready to be in the fashion show. For the fashion show, everybody was supposed to dress up and get into their own things or whatever. And the employees of the facility, they had plans, they have ideas. It's just the execution of them. And so one of the employees brought in nail polish, they brought in curling irons, they brought in all this stuff for people to get ready for the fashion show. And so me and the other students in my cohort who saw them, we saw them just sitting there, and we're like, so is anybody gonna use the stuff? And so we literally took a room and set up shop and basically became like a beauty salon. And so we started doing nails, and we started curling hair, and we started doing makeup, and that just brought so much joy and so much happiness to the people that were actually in there with us and getting the stuff done to them. And so it's just like, that right there in itself made my fieldwork experience so great, because it felt like we made such a big difference in their day that they were having. So they had this great plan to have a fashion show. They had the materials to do a great fashion show. It's just that the motivation and the execution behind the plans and the ideas just weren't there. And so I was just glad that I was able to be a part of making their plan come to light. The moral of the story for my fieldwork experience is that we went into it with this plan in our brain that it was going to be this way, and it turned out to be something totally different. And like I said, it's not on the facility, because honestly the facility, it doesn't have the resources that it needs to be as great as it can possibly be. And so that's the sad part about it. It's sad that we can't give these important institutions the things that they need so that the residents or the people that attend these facilities get the things that they deserve. And so I guess the moral of my fieldwork experience is that go in there, have your ideas or whatever that you expect it to be like, but don't be so stuck in them that you can't be flexible and adjust to what is actually happening. Me and the students from my cohort, we just were flexible, and we we still got those experiences and we gained those relationships with those people, that we still had an amazing fieldwork experience because we made it what we wanted to make it. We didn't just sit back, because we could have just sat back and let the employees continue to tell us what to do and to tell us where to stay and stuff like that, but it wouldn't have been as good as when we took our opportunity into our own hands and started initiating activities with the residents. And so that was my fieldwork experience. It wasn't real clinical. It wasn't real hands-on, I would say. It was really just an experience for me to get comfortable being around that population and being around people with mental disabilities, and just being comfortable with that setting. Because I can tell you right now, I have not, before that experience, I had not had a lot of experience with adults with mental disabilities. And so I personally thought in itself, me being able to be around that population and get more experience with them was like a gain in itself. Like, that was an advantage in itself. And so, yeah, it wasn't what I expected it to be, but it turned out being really great because me and the other students in my cohort made it really great. And that's my advice to you. Make your experience what you want to make it. Don't allow others to dictate how your experience is going to go. Get out there, do what you need to do. And yeah, that's all I got for you. I hope you liked my rendition of my fieldwork experience. Like I said, I didn't want to give too much detail because I definitely don't want to give anybody any detail on the facility in itself, because they're a work in progress just like everybody else, and everything else is a work in progress. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.